Hi, my name is Kim. I'm an introvert who travels the world while staying on a tight budget. And today we're going to be looking at what to do when the worst case scenario happens whilst you're traveling. Sometimes things happen that's beyond your control and you don't know what to do. This is what this video is about. It's to explain what to do in those situations. From losing your passport to falling seriously ill abroad, these are 7 things that you should do if the worst thing does happen. So let's just get into it. The airline has lost my luggage. First thing to do, don't panic. Have a look at the carousel and stay at the carousel until it stops. When it's stopped, have a look around the area to see if somebody's accidentally taken your bag and just dumped it somewhere else. Have a good look about. If you still can't find your baggage, go to the airline's baggage desk. Then what they'll do is take some details from you and see if there's any way of them being able to trace where your bag is. When we were in this situation, the baggage delivery desk managed to actually trace where the bag was, and we just had the bag delivered to the hotel the next day. But it's not always possible that they're able to trace where your bag is immediately. So if that happens, what they'll do is take the details of your bag, where you're staying, how to get in contact with you. Then you basically have to go on with your holiday without your luggage. Make sure that when you arrive at your hotel or your hostel, if that's where you're staying, you let reception know that your luggage has been lost. So then if they do deliver the luggage to the hotel for you without letting you know, they know what room is associated with that baggage. Make sure that you've got travel insurance that covers for lost luggage. And when you do end up having to buy extra things because your suitcase has been lost, such as toiletries or additional clothing, make sure you keep the receipts so that you can claim against this on your insurance. Without those receipts, you won't get anything. My hotel can't find my booking. Whenever you travel, make sure that you have backup documents with you. This may be printed out physical documents or somewhere that's easily accessible on your device where you can get all your documents. If you haven't booked online, so you haven't been sent a sort of a booking confirmation automatically, if you do book over the telephone, for example, make sure you get them to email you a booking confirmation. Without that booking confirmation, there's no proof that you were going to stay there anyway. So without that, basically that piece of paper that says yes, you're meant to stay here, then there's nothing that the hotel can do for you. So make sure you have your booking confirmations with you. And it's not just hotels that can mislead bookings, it's tour operators, museums, tourist attractions. So if you're going anywhere, make sure you've always got your booking confirmation to hand. A natural disaster has ruined my holiday. There are loads of things that can happen that nature does that we have no control over. You can end up in a place that has a typhoon or a hurricane season. There are places that are in earthquake zones. There's volcano eruptions, tornadoes, avalanches, loads of things can happen. We have no control over those situations if they do occur, but what we can do is be prepared, ready, just in case it does. So basically do our research ahead of time. Before you go to places, make sure you do your research before you go there. See what the weather's going to be like. There are certain places in the world you don't want to travel to at certain times of year because it's tornado season in Tornado Alley in the US, or it's typhoon season in India. Those aren't ideal times to go traveling to those places, so it's best to avoid those times of year. Another step you can take is to make sure that your travel insurance covers you if there is a cancellation or your holidays cut short or prolonged because of a natural disaster. Check your policy and see what's covered in it so you know that you're covered if the worst case scenario does happen. I've lost my passport. It's not the end of the world if your passport has been lost or if it's been stolen. There are things that you can do to make sure that you have a document so that you can travel home again. Contact your nearest embassy so that they can start the process of getting you emergency documentation. This is sometimes known as an emergency passport. When you do go to the embassy, make sure that you do have money available because sometimes there are fees attached to this application. To find out your closest embassy, I'll add a link in the description which will take you to the list of all the places there are UK embassies around the world. But to be able to get an emergency passport, there are some criteria that you need to fit. So you need to be a UK national, you need to be outside of the UK, your passport needs to have been lost, stolen, damaged, full recently expired or is with HM passport or the foreign embassy. You don't have time to renew your passport before you leave, and you can also provide proof of what your travel plans are. Whether they're booked or not, you can give a detailed explanation of where you're going. You can use your emergency travel documentation to travel through a maximum of 5 countries to your destination country. What they'll do is basically print your itinerary on your emergency documentation. So if your plans do change, you need to apply for a new emergency passport. If your final destination is in the UK, then UK border staff will keep your emergency documentation. If it is outside of the UK, just be aware that their border staff may keep your documentation too. It all depends on that country's procedures. My belongings have been stolen. Even if you have all the safety precautions in place, this still may occur. So there are some things that you can do that if it does happen, the blow isn't as bad, I guess. Utilize your hotel safe if you can. And if you can't, if your hotel or you're staying in a hostel doesn't have a safe, make sure that you spread your money about the place. So you hide it in socks, you hide some in your bag, you hide some about the place. So if one part of your belongings is stolen, you've still got some money stashed away somewhere. So you're not completely lost without money. Even the best laid plans can sometimes go awry. So if some of your belongings does get stolen, make sure that you get a police report. So then if you do try and claim on your travel insurance, you've got documentation to back this up. If you're in a situation where all of your money has been stolen though, contact your local embassy. They can then liaise with family or friends to try and get money sent to you. I've gotten into an accident in my rental car. Before you leave the lot, make sure that you have the appropriate insurance to cover you for the car. Make sure that you go around the car and check if there are any sort of dings or any scratches on the bodywork. Because the worst thing you want to happen is if there is an accident and they try and charge you for something that you didn't damage. What I tend to do is go around the car and I take photos of any damage that's on the car when I picked it up. If you do get into an accident, make sure that you get a police report filed so that you've got proof that this has happened. If the police are being really stubborn about giving this to you, go to your local embassy so that they can put pressure on the police to get that for you. Phone your car rental's emergency phone number as soon as you can to let them know that you've been in an accident. And also, if you've been injured or if any of your possessions have been damaged, make sure that you phone your travel insurance company as well. I've been injured or I'm ill overseas. If it's just a small cut or a common cold, your first step would be just to go to the chemist and get something to help you temporarily. If you're a little bit more serious, phone your travel insurance to see what's covered. A lot of resorts have doctors on site, so you don't have to leave the resort to go see a doctor. Or the reception will let you know where the closest one is to you. But once you phone the travel insurance, you'll know how much is covered, how much you can get help with your illness. If the illness or injury is a little bit more serious, try and make sure that you phone your travel insurance company before you go to the hospital. If you are hospitalised, let your local embassy know so that they can liaise with your family and friends and your travel insurance company to make sure that you have the best care you can get. I know it's not very nice to have to think about this information, but I think it's always best to know what to do in the worst case scenario if you are abroad. I hope you never have to use this information, but I think it's a good resource to put out there anyway. It's always good to have a backup plan just in case the worst case does happen, because you never know what will happen in today's world especially. If you enjoyed this video and like watching informative travel content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell. I release short form travel videos on Instagram TV every Wednesday, so if you want to watch those, make sure you go follow me on Instagram at awkwardlykimtravel. I do live streaming on this channel every Monday and Friday 6 PM UK time, and I launch new videos every Monday and Friday 7 PM UK time. So if you'd like to be notified, subscribe, notification bell, you know what to do. If you want to watch a video about frequently asked questions about travel, I'll put that video up here. And if you want to watch a video where I debunk some misconceptions and myths about travel, I'll put that video down here. But I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you again. Enjoy your life. Ta-da!